Hello.
If somebody's a fraud, I'm gonna take you to court. I'm not gonna argue with you. Like,
What did
no,
I
they
miss?
said, why are they saying the documents are fake? I'm like, first of all, what I think is ironic,
The same thing we read.
right? And I physically did not read the documents. Now I have them, but I didn't read them. And I received them from Ivory. But for some reason, I'm the only person that was spoken on. I think that's kind of odd.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know why you're taking all the heat.
That's just crazy. That's crazy.
But yeah, Nina didn't make these documents. I got them and gave them to Nina.
And there's receipts for these documents, like.
And I will show them after I read them tonight. This way y'all can see them. So there's that. But hello, guys. Hello, Tess.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
So what
Hey,
is
Mercy.
Happy.
Hello. Hey, Lisa. How are you? Hey, Dawn. Hey, Magda. Yes, thank you, Magda. Guys, don't forget to tap. Don't forget to tap, tap, tap. Thank you, John Rand. Thank you.
Tap. Thank you.
My contacts are so like dry tonight. I had the heater on and it's like they're dry.
Oh yeah, that's how it was for me earlier.
So I had to take them out. Thank you. Yes, guys, I have a goal of 50 of them today. So thank you. I really do appreciate them. I finally learned how to put a goal up. That's kind of funny. Hey, guys, share this out too. Do me a favor and share this out if you can. Hey, Megan. Oh, my eyes are so
Gio, you can give me your iPad so I could type in your stuff, Papas. Gio, you can give me your iPad so I could type in your stuff, Papas.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you, Days. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Give me the iPad.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you.
I need you to
I think it's wild that. Thank you. Hey, Holla Mom. Thank you. What's for story time tonight? Hold on, let me get my eyes and check over here because then I'll be blind as a bat and there won't be much of a story time. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna have mascara.
And you know what I just really think is interesting?
What's up?
When everybody said, oh, Gypsy said this, I don't understand why y'all are sitting here not believing her.
That's okay. So that's the whole thing. I will tell you where it is actually her words and it's fact. And I will tell you, I've been reading the documents and telling you what it means. You guys can read it for yourself. I have not been skipping over. I have not redacted anything.
Also,
I have not added anything. I have read it word for word in sections, not just one page. I read it in sections.
Also, I would urge you guys to ask Bree to show you page 65 and 66. Okay.
And those are facts.
While she's over there saying like it's made up, but she won't show you those pages, ask her to show you 65.
She has exactly what we have. Nothing has been taken away. Nothing has been added. And again, I read it in its entirety. So if somebody wants to come with me and tell me what I have redacted or I have added, please do so. So I can confirm that it is not. I can confirm something if you're not going to tell me what.
Yes, I can show you 65.
If you're not going to tell me what you think that I altered, please come at me and tell me what I've altered so I can show you that it's not altered. You can't say, oh, you altered that, and then not tell me what you're saying that I'm altering. So
65 and 66 will show you this information. So ask Bree to send you the same thing
Guys, I'm gonna mute because I'm gonna shout at my husband and ask him to get me my glasses because my eyes are just about done.
Okay. And this is where Gypsy basically admits that she had a surgery. And after the surgery, the doctor told her that she had a seizure and she was paralyzed. They didn't know if it was only temporary, and she started getting feeling and tingling in her legs. She was young and she kept it to herself, and she kept it from her mom because she was afraid that her mom would stop loving her. So she kept it to herself until 2011 when she rebelled and ran away from home. Okay. So that's goes to show that at that moment, from 6 years old, so I want you to understand how diabolical that is for a 6-year-old to, I don't know at what point did she get the feeling back, right? Because it doesn't specifically state
No, it doesn't.
here. So anything that I say right there would be assumption. That would not be fact. But it would be safe
You
to
know she got
say,
it back at some point.
yeah, she got it back at some point, and she decided not to tell her mom. So is that Munchausen by proxy? Let the class say. Okay. So that tells you right there that this whole thing is a lie and she's a master manipulator. Tell Bree to show you just that. Because if she just shows you page 65 and 66, right? And if she can show that page 65 and 66 with the same document number and the same stuff on the sides so that I know it's the real page, if I altered it, file charges, sue me, and I'll give you $500 Cash App right now.
I agree. Me too. Me too. You got to be careful saying that people.
And 10 toes. And I want you to know that for you to say that someone forged documents, that is a problem. That is defamation. And you yourself can be sued. Bree, do you want more lawsuits? Because a class action lawsuit from all creators that have covered this, I don't think that's what you want. And I don't care if you're on the streets.
Where's your contact case? Because I don't.
Oh, it's upstairs somewhere.
Okay? I don't care if you're on the streets. I don't care if you don't have money to eat. That is not my business. And I said what I said. So there's that. But just on that basis alone, that just shows that this whole thing is a scam. Okay? 2 news outlets reached out to us and an independent journalist. So I'm sure you're not ready for this.
Yep.
Why are you playing?
You're super
And why
excited.
would anybody submit that to them if it was forged?
Yep. Absolutely. We did.
Play with
We sent it away to an
Play
awful
with it.
lot of mainstream media people, and we did get a few responses back. So, you know what I mean? I also want people to understand. I understand that she may never get put back in jail again. That's not the point of this.
Yeah.
You can sit there and claim that you want. Now, I have said this since the beginning. They both need to be in prison for life. I've said it from the beginning. I've never altered from that. I've never changed it. However, he did not get a fair shot with his trials. He didn't. And so everybody deserves a fair shot. If you sit there and you look over the paperwork, it wasn't even close. That's my injustice. He has taken responsibility, he has taken accountability. He admits he does it. He doesn't feel like he needs. He did. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying what he did wasn't horrible. Absolutely it was. But everybody is entitled to a fair trial. And so, yeah, that's it. It was obvious that it wasn't, there was a lot of injustice happening there. And it was blatant. It was obvious. In my opinion, it was obvious.
Right.
Then you also have to look at the fact that, again, someone tell me how I'm not defending him. What he did, thank you so much. What he did makes him a horrible person. It makes him a murderer. I am not going to sit there and act like what he did wasn't absolutely horrible. It absolutely was. The murder would never have taken place without Gypsy. It just is what it is. That's a fact. That's the truth. That's a fact. You can't argue that. Dee Dee would still be alive if it weren't for Gypsy. Okay, so you know what I mean? Like there's nothing you can really, it is what it is. And then you have to look at the fact that she got that plea deal based on this story of abuse that I don't believe. You can all believe it. That's your right to believe whatever you want. I've never told anybody what to believe. Believe what I believe. I do not believe she was a victim of abuse. I am entitled and I have a right to that opinion. What gives me that opinion? I tell you why I form my opinion. I tell you what facts I read. I tell you what I look at, and I have looked at both sides. I have looked at everything. I have spoken to people. I have not just come at this one-sided. I have come and made my decision based on an awful lot of perspectives. So there's that. Okay? I'm entitled to my opinion. If what I'm saying is lies, then disregard it, guys. If Gypsy's going to sit there and say that I'm making this paperwork up and I'm lying and all this is a lie, okay. Call me a liar. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me either way. I'm still going to put out the story that I want to put out. I'm still going to talk about what I want to talk about. So at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. And to sit there and act like him being in prison, yes, I'm going to say this too, and I have said this from day one. He was offered 2 plea deals. But why was her story of abuse that was never proven, why was her story of abuse taken into account and she given a plea deal because of her history of abuse, right? But nobody took into account his abuse. He was also abused. So, it's that it is what it is. It's gotta be fair for both of them.
Hold on 1 second.
And if you look at this paperwork and you look at everything, you look at what you know, you look at sorry guys, my eyes are so dry. You can see that there was an injustice. Tell me how the judge heard it. It went to the Supreme Court. Do you know how many people have died on death row who were innocent? That also goes up the chains to the Supreme Court. And yet they still died and they were still innocent, proven after the fact. Because judges did not want to take things into account. It happens. I'm sorry. You can say what you want. It happens. So you mean to tell me it's possible for it to happen to everybody else, but not this case? I see it differently then. So that's just the way that I see it. It is what it is. It's definitely not the perfect system. And again, this is coming from a person who thinks they should both be in prison for life. I have said that from the beginning. I have never altered from that. What either of them did is not acceptable. I am not saying that he needs justice because he's innocent and he didn't kill anybody. And no, he did. They both did. They should both. Black and white. If you commit premeditated murder, you should be in prison for life. That would solve a whole lot of problems here now, wouldn't it? But because people want to throw things into account and give gray areas, then you got to give gray areas for everybody. And it's everybody's right to have a fair trial. This was not fair. What is the number one thing? The judge let her perjure herself. She, in the same little area, and I will show it tomorrow, she literally perjured herself. And nobody called it out. They just let it go. So that right there shows that there was a bias. Is it really a far-fetched to think that it was an election year? I mean, come on, there ain't nobody going against anybody for that. We're gonna wipe this away. We're gonna make it easy. We're gonna make it clean. I'm gonna help you. You're gonna help me. We're gonna get this done. Make it clean. I'm gonna help you. You're gonna help me. We're gonna get this done with as little mess as possible because we all want to be reelected. We like our jobs. We like our money. Tell me how you think that that's so far-fetched when it happens every single day. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. It happens, unfortunately.
And I also want to show you guys the seals that are on.
Yeah, everything we have has the seals, has the stamps.
Documents sealed from the Circuit Court of Greene County, Missouri. So there you have it.
We have the same paperwork as her, the same stuff. We read the same stuff yesterday. So just be careful saying that people are altering.
Yeah, that's a defamation lawsuit because you're actually saying we're committing a crime. Hold on one second.
What's up? Sorry, guys. My contacts are way out of whack today. I do not know what's happening. I can't see a darn thing. All right, I'm going to try and read this the best I can for you today because, well, we're going to go through today the incident report. Hold on, let me find the first page because I printed it out, but I will show you both here and on the computer. I just printed it out because Jackie is in and out, guys. She's in and out of the chat. I got Hollow Mom and Magda in here modding as well, if you guys need something. Yeah, it was in the same FOIA request. It was in the same records request. It's just the incident report, the one with all the videos on it.
Good news.
What?
The person who was doxing me yesterday on that YouTube live,
Right?
they have an ID for that person.
Ah! That's wild. That is so wild. You know, that's another thing that I can't handle. You don't have to like what people are saying. You want to talk about it? You want to talk about me? Go ahead. Couldn't care any less. But to sit there and dox people in chats of lives is wild. It's just absolutely wild. You don't have to like what we're saying. Don't watch it. You want to watch it so you can, make a response. Go right ahead. But just, dude, be civil, man. Be civil. What are you drinking?
Alani,
Oh.
I don't drink beer.
No, it wasn't. That's
I'm
not what I
just
think.
joking. I'm just joking. I do.
That's not what I thought it was.
Oh, ha!
Like, no, she didn't.
My name is not Nana, and I think she likes them full.
All right. Let's go.
And that's coming from a pretty girl.
We're going to read, right, Jack? We're going to read the incident report.
Watermelon.
The one with the videos on it, guys. I'm going to do the best I can. Hopefully you don't have to take over because I see you're wearing glasses because my eyes are all messed up and I will do the best I can.
Okay, where are you looking at?
The incident report. The one from the sheriff's office. The one with the
What page are you starting at?
I'm going to start from the very beginning. I'm not going to skip nothing. I'm going to skip the ones that say video don't play. These are videos that don't play, but I'm going to start right from the beginning this way. If anyone feels like I've altered or redacted something, please feel free to raise your hand or whatever, because... Alright, there's a witness list. There's all of that. I'm not going to go through the witness list. There's evidence. I'm not going to go through the evidence. All right, I'm going to start with the narrative so everyone knows where I am. A thumb drive labeled as USB 27998 files from the computer was reviewed. This thumb drive contained all of the electronics.
What page is this?
12 of 27, because the rest was all just evidence listed, witnesses listed, and we don't need any of that. It's right where the narrative starts. It says narrative.
I don't think I'm on the right thing.
The one with the, this one.
Oh. I don't think that's what I have.
I thought I have it twice. It's in the middle of the email. The middle download.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's not, I don't have it on here. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay. Hey, Amethyst, how are you? Alright, I can barely read the messages. The chat.
What's funny is it's easier for me to read the chat than to read the... I think it's because, remember that blue thing that I was telling you about?
Yeah, so that's why I'm afraid to put on my glasses. So I'm struggling with these dry contacts, but...
Okay, I just sent it to this. So that's the Greene County report, right?
Yes, the incident report.
Okay.
When we start the narrative, go underneath the witnesses and the...
You said page 21, right?
What, 12 of 27.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. A thumb drive labeled as USB 27998 files from the computer was reviewed. This thumb drive contained all of the electronics, computers, laptops, thumb drives, and USBs downloaded from Springfield Police Department Officer Michael Costello. These above items were collected from Nicholas Godejohns' residence pursuant to a search warrant. This is all from Nicholas's house. There are also videos of Gypsy found on the USB, which she sent to Nicholas. They were reviewed as well. Hold on. The following are files and videos are reviewed, and it is not intended as a transcript or exact text of the files, but a description. Skype chat message. All right, we're not going to go there. Google searches. We're not going to go there. Doesn't say any indication of conversation. Google search done. This is before the unaliving happened, guys. This was a Google search that Nick did on his computer. He's searching for tape. He's searching for her address, 2103 West Volunteer Way, Springfield, Missouri. He's searching for ruffled wrist cuffs. He's searching for Greyhound change date on ticket. He's searching for BHN taxi fare, Springfield, Missouri flower service, and Greyhound bus, Milwaukee. Firefox web history shows searches for several pornographic websites, marriage laws in Missouri, wedding officiants, apartments living in Springfield, Missouri, Section 8 housing in Springfield, Missouri, extreme restraints, and looking up routes from Wisconsin to Missouri. Facebook chat showed a confirmation email from Greyhound Bus giving Nicholas his reference number. Classified URLs showed searches for handcuffs, mouthwash, bondage tape to include the ankle, wrist, black bondage PVC tape that does not pull hair, and mouthball gag harness restraint. Chrome web visits showed searches for taxi finder cost and rates, Big Bend, Wisconsin, Greyhound Bus, Days Inn in Springfield, Missouri, Domino's Pizza, taxi finder fare rates from Days Inn in Kentwood, Springfield, Missouri, 2103 West Volunteer Way again, and Papa John's Pizza. Chrome 360 Safe Browser showed searches for several different types of bullets from Bass Pro, Walmart search for SOG 15.3 jungle knife, Greyhound Bus baggage information, Big Bend, Wisconsin, moving tips, moving out of state checklist, what you need when moving out of state, several delete this entire conversation titles, Greyhound Mobile, Springfield, Missouri Taxi, KY3, KSPR News, USPS location search, Papa John's Pizza, and Ozarks Today. Now, these next searches are done after.
Okay.
After. Whether it's on from his house computer or on his phone, I don't know. Chrome web visits showed searches for mother-daughter missing, considered endangered, KY3. Springfield mother found dead, daughter still missing, and Ozarks first. Chrome showed two different dates of search for Ozarks first with KOLR 10, KY3, and Facebook. Chrome web history showed searches for Ozarks first with KOLR 10, KY3, and again Facebook. There are videos which are the exact same but are labeled different titles. Nicholas did not talk about the unaliving or any plans for him to commit the unaliving in the videos. Most all of the videos were Nicholas talking about his relationship with Gypsy and sensual experiences they were going to have. Nicholas mostly rambles on in the videos and does not talk a whole lot about anything but the two's relationship. Nicholas appeared to be talking and acting normal in most of the videos. There are some videos where he would change his voice and act as if he were another person. Hold on, my eyes. Another person. The following few videos are mostly the kind of things Nicholas would talk about in the other videos. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The following few videos content is written out to give an example of what the rest of the videos are similar to. This was done to save time for someone else to not have to watch several hours of video. The rest of the videos I watched and were indicated as nothing pertaining to the homicide, same video as above. So again, some of them are just saying they didn't open, some of them are saying they're the same video, so they didn't have to give a listing of ones that didn't pertain to anything happening. Video labeled 000002 is over 13 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas is talking to Gypsy's other alternate made-up personality. He talks about having intercourse with Gypsy and his rough side toward her when they have intercourse. He talked about how he was Gypsy's master and how each personality needed to wear certain types of clothing during intercourse. He talked about how hard it would be for Gypsy to please him and she needed not to disappoint him. He talked about how she needed to make some videos for him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Video labeled all the zeros and a 6 is over 6 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas is playing with himself and shows his penis to the camera on the device he is recording from. He talked about how he did research on how to get your penis to be full size. He said according to a website he went to.
I don't think you can say that word. Just say stick. I think you
Okay.
can say stick. Just say stick.
Website he went to. You could tell that I'm a nurse because that word doesn't mean anything to me. It's like, all right. He talked about how he did research on how to get your stick to be full size. He said, according to the website he went to, it indicated if you drink a lot of soda with sugar and caffeine, your stick would be fully erect the following day. During the video, he continues to try to make his stick erect while he was talking to Gypsy about the method. He said this was his second attempt at showing his stick fully erect to her, but he does not accomplish this. He talked about how he was not happy with the length of his stick. Video labeled number 7 is over 18 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas is talking about how they have been together for over a year. He talked about how most relationships do not last because of the distance between them. He talked about how they have been through rough times and yet their bond grows stronger even through the hard times. He talked about how he fought for all of his ex-girlfriends and none of them fought for him. He thanked Gypsy for trusting in him and how she would not go behind his back. She talked about a ring he wore to remind him of her. He said when he goes to the library and observes an attractive woman, he would look down at the ring and be reminded of her. He went on to talk about how he was a faithful person and how he did not have to worry about her being unfaithful either. Video number 8 is over 12 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas awakes from sleeping and started talking on the computer to Gypsy. He talked about what he was wearing to bed, which was a t-shirt and plaid boxers. He messes with the computer's focusing it on his crotch area. He then removed his stick from his underwear, showed it in a limp state, and talked about how he actually been up for a while, and this is why his stick is no longer fully erect. He showed off his bracelet he was wearing and his necklace. Most of the video was about him wanting to get fully erect to show Gypsy. Are you guys seeing a little bit of a pattern here? Because I'm seeing a pattern. That's the stick. Just don't want to get up ever.
Like sticks don't get up there.
Not this stick. He's got soft sticks.
Well, around, I don't think it was an attraction thing to her. I don't think it was a physical attraction thing, and I think that is something really worth noting.
Video labeled 9 is over 4 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas talked about how it was 4 o'clock in the morning and he was making a good night video to Gypsy. Video labeled 10 is over 18 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas is addressing Gypsy and how her body may be broken physically, but not spiritually. He talked about how Gypsy deserved him and his love to her. He told her he only wanted 3 things from her: that, affection, and her staying true to him. He talked about how they adored each other to the point the other person would even unalive someone for them. Video labeled 3813 is over 21 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas talked about how he could see into the future and wanted to warn Gypsy that he would not be at home, but he would be at his grandmother's house. He talked about Ash Wednesday, and during this time, he would be very busy doing his fish fries. He talked about how he was going to make a trip to where Gypsy was to see her, but he did not go into detail about why or for what reason he was going to visit her. He talked about how he could make a lot of money by playing fantasy sports. He talked about the Disney movie Up and how it reminded him of her. He talked about an account of some sort where she had money possibly saved up, but never said how much or what type of account or bank. I think it's wild these people have money. They got bank accounts. They got 10 grand sitting in a wild. The next video was the same as above, same as above, same as above. A message from your King Nick and Master Victor about second trial. Yeah, he does. He did sound so young most of the time. Nicholas talked about his court appearance in Wisconsin and how he had set up a payment plan to pay his fine.
What did your comment say?
Huh?
What was the comment that you just read?
He sounded so young most of the time. But he was he was on a child's level.
Yeah.
Nicholas talked about his court appearance in Wisconsin and how he had set up a payment plan to pay his fine. He talked about how he was consistent with everything he does and the fine will get paid because the alternative would be spending 4 days in jail. He talked about the date 11/11/2013 being his court date, which was the same day he made the video. He talked about how he was testing the media when they interviewed him about his case and how they lied about what he said. Later in the video, Nicholas changes his voice and told Gypsy her master Victor was now the one talking to her. Nicholas, aka Victor, talked about the court fines again.
I want to interrupt you real quick because I do remember earlier that screen recording of Bree saying, when it comes to BDSM, there's no switches.
Right.
Right. Like whatever. If you're playing a dominant, you're just a dominant. If you're playing a submissive, you're just a submissive. And I think having some insight on that, and specifically this Demona character, because again, this is a character that she has been playing. Demona likes humiliation. So she's controlling the narrative while at the same time appearing to be submissive, but not.
Topping from the bottom, yeah.
Right. It's called topping from the bottom. And you can look that up. I'll actually look it up to clarify this, just because I know that some people think that they understand what's going on, but they really don't because they haven't done their research and they are only really good at fast talking people. And you know, if your name is somebody with the facts, I would think you would come with the facts, but okay. All right. So this is from a website called Dom Subliving. Topping from the bottom. What does topping from the bottom mean? Topping from the bottom means ever since 50 Shades of Grey. So I don't know if this would be something I would qualify as a legitimate site.
I have the stuff that I looked up because I actually did research on it, which was.
I can't remember the site it was that it was pulled from.
Yeah, I have it written down somewhere. Give me a little bit and I will grab it because there was an actual psychology, it was like Psychology Today or something like that did the explanation of what it was, the dangers of it, blah, 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 you know, the whole thing.
Okay, I actually think. So, but essentially it's basically you may be the dominant person, but you're still relinquishing power to this person.
So when you're topping from the bottom, if you do a flip on them. They think they're dominant, you're the submissive, but what actually happens is you turn around and you surprise them. There's a trust thing there. It's actually a break of trust, they described it as. And what happens is that
you're doing it wrong, really.
You turn around and you're actually the submissive, you're the dominant one, letting them think for the longest time that they are in fact the dominant one, and then you flip, but it's already begun, you can't change it. And so you become the dominant one. And you let them know, you know what I mean? So it's called a mind fuck. They go into this trust thing.
Yes, it's a manipulation tactic.
Yes,
right.
It absolutely is a manipulation
and
tactic.
That's essentially what
And
Gypsy
it's also a form of
doing.
abuse. When I read the psychology,
Right.
it's a big abuse. Yeah.
Because it says when you look it up that if you're doing that, you're doing BDSM all wrong.
Right.
But that is part of this Demona character. And I think it's very important to incorporate this Demona character simply because she bought a wig like Demona, she dressed like Demona, she called herself Demona, and if a duck walks, talks, and quacks like a duck, what is it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I think it's very important to see that in that context, simply because this is the character that she's playing,
Quack, quack.
but right, but she's also in this within this character, she's taking on this dominant submissive role, but she's relinquishing the power and then switching. That's
Yep.
why it's called a switch.
Yeah.
And like they said, yeah, it's a manipulation
All up in their
tactic.
heads because they're believing to be one thing, and then you totally reverse roles on them, and it's like, whoa, you don't know what to do and how to react in that situation.
Right. And I also think what's worth noting as well is the fact that I believe it was Dr. Wasserman in that report that did say that Nick was not capable of coming up with a storyline like that due to his autism.
We do have that somewhere. I'll go back and we'll read that paper
Yes.
because I don't want to
Like he was very clear in
read
that.
that without. Yeah, that's just the gist of it. We'll go back and read that whole thing so there's no
Misunderstanding.
misunderstanding. Yeah.
But I think it's really important for them to understand this through the lens of that context, because I think when you're reading through this document, if you really don't understand Demona, the switch from bottom to top, or topping from the bottom, you kind of get lost in the actual context of
1 minute
how
he's
it
the
plays
slave,
out.
1 minute she's the slave, and you just don't understand the relationship there. But once you understand, once we just explain to you what happened, and usually when you play one role, like when you're either dominant or submissive, you don't change up. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Normally there's one trait that you're either dominant or submissive. And generally speaking, based off of what I've read, is that a lot of people that are like dominant in their workforce, like if they have a very dominant job, they tend to be submissive in their personal life because they're always dominating at work, right? So it's like they want to take more of a laid back approach, or someone that they have a more submissive role at work or in their everyday life, whatever they do, they tend to take the more masculine role on. And I want you guys to take that in context of Gypsy and her mom, right? Her mom was the mother, she was the daughter. So of course the child is more of a submissive role, right? And the mom is more of a dominant role because the mom is there to instruct you, right? So this flip is on brand.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I want that to be put in context as well.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. That's right. All right, where was I now that I've got my glasses on finally?
While you're looking at this, I'm going to look at this report,
Okay.
like scan through it.
All right. A must brought up topic is the name of this video. Nicholas talked about how Gypsy was worried he only wanted to have relations with her when he was with her. During the video, he told Gypsy if he would just submit to him, then his issue would be done and over with, and Nicholas snaps his fingers. He talked mostly about her giving in and backing down to him. He said he would not back down from her, and she needed to back down from him. So again, he's trying to be the dominant one here. And I agree with that, he is. Nothing pertaining, nothing pertaining. Expressing more feeling, Nicholas told Gypsy he was upset with her because she had compared him to a serial unaliver. He said he had too much of an innocent personality to do that. He talked about how he was hurt and how she hurt him by saying that. He talked about a spell he wanted her to do so they would be bound together forever. He talked about the eyes being the window of the soul, but the ears were the road to his soul. He said he never had a mother or father because they were working all the time and they did not spend enough time with him. Do me a favor, you want to mute Nina just because of the static? Thank you. He said Gypsy was like a mother to him. Because of this, he had to grow up.
Note that. Like, that's something to put a pin in and note, because that should also, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I just want to make sure that there is like we kind of tie it all together. Remember, he was having a hard time getting that stick up, right? Now, the fact that he's seen her like a mother, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, obviously he was lacking, first of all, in his own familial relationship with his parents. He had a lot of lacking there. He had a lot of issues going on, and he was looking to fill that void. And so that's what he found in Gypsy. He said Gypsy was like a mother to him. Because of this, he had to grow up early. He was a family man with rare characteristics. He said she did not need to compare him to Charles Manson because he did research on him. He then yells at her not to ever compare him to Charles Manson. He told Gypsy she did not need to fear his Dark One coming out and unaliving her or doing anything to harm her. The Dark One might do sensual things to her, but he would not harm her. He said she had 2 protectors inside of him to keep her safe. Forgotten sensual instructions from your master Victor. Nicholas is talking in a deeper voice and told Gypsy and her other character Demona they had something expensive they needed to wear when they made their video to him. He said they needed to do this so they would not disappoint him, and they would get more videos from him back. He said Demona was built to handle some very sensual things. He wanted Gypsy to wear white and red lingerie. He wanted Demona, however, to wear red and black lingerie because they were the vampire colors. He said him, Victor, and Nicholas would be pleased. He said he would be able to dominate her to the point she would be scared and it would be easy. He told her intimacy with her master would be pleasure and pain. From the Hurt Inside, another video. Nicholas talked about before Gypsy came into his life, he was afraid he would never find true love. He talked about how he was going to the BDSM website and order a chained up slave. He said he was getting hopeless in trying to find true love until she came into his life. He said the Lord brought her into his life before he got to that point. Gypsy's special birthday video. Nicholas is telling Gypsy happy birthday in the video. Then around 4 minutes 31 seconds into the video, he closes his eyes and Master Victor is now the one talking. Victor told her happy birthday and told her to give him feedback on the video. Nicholas then started talking in his normal voice and also as Victor as if they were both talking to her. Chaos coordinator, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I can't honestly answer that. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. Chaos just asked if he was sensually abused, SA'd, and I have nothing.
You know, they never said that specifically. And
I'm not,
I
yeah, I'm not going to say
would
this as
not
like a feeling,
say that.
trying to make up an excuse for him because I'm not at all. However, he did live in a house with one. His mother was with one of those. However, there's nothing that I have no proof that he was ever.
Yeah, we
No,
have
ever
no
said it.
proof of
Ever
that.
inflicted,
And based off of
so
what I've read, it doesn't
no.
seem. I don't know that to be.
Yeah, I don't think he was. Nicholas introduces himself to Gypsy as her master Victor. He talked about how she was a reliable slave to him and thanked her for loyalty. Victor then said he was now going to let Nicholas talk to her about something important. He said she should not expect presents from him, and all that should matter is time to her. He continued to talk about her being spoiled with his time and not gifts. He said he felt pressure to talk to her because she did not respond to his video about time and presents. Letter confirmation and other topics by your King Nick. Nicholas told Gypsy he had another alter personality who he learned over the weekend was called Chenier, and Chenier was due to come out any time. Master Victor's message. Nicholas is talking as Victor. He talked about how there are different kinds of vampires in the world. He talked about how the sun gave some vampires their power, and these vampires do not need blood. He said there was human-type vampires who were friendly towards others. There was a vampire who get their power from the moon, and they don't need to hunt, but they don't like the sun. He said it's a breed that does not drink blood, they eat regular food, and they hate all other vampires. Master bonus video with Nick at ending. Nicholas is talking as Victor, and he told Gypsy she will give a hex spell to someone as he commands. He is very firm and authoritative about this. He told her she will do what he said. He talked about how he could break her spell and that was not joking around about it. He gives her several firm warnings telling her she will do what he said. He talked about it as if she did not do what she said. If she did not do what he said, he would make her put a hex spell on a female so he could grape her and even have a gangbang with this female. He said this does not mean he would unalive her, but he would break her spirit forever. He said if he observed someone as sensual, he would need to put a hex spell on this female so he could grape her. During the duration of the video, he continued to command her to do whatever he told her to do. So again, we're not sitting there acting like Nick is some innocent, Nick didn't do anything by any means. We're reading it word for word. But in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion and I'll mention it later when it happens, you can kind of see the roles reversed. I'm just saying. But to continue, Nicholas, Master's White Collar Response is the title. Nicholas is talking as Victor in this video. He said Gypsy would earn her white collar when they are in person. He mainly reprimands her in this video for not saying goodnight the proper way. He also talked about what she needed to expect sensually when they are together. Must listen to Message from Your King Nick was the title. Nicholas talked about how the dark one was going to more than likely come out sometime during the evening. He said he knew this because of the songs in his head. Nothing pertaining to homicide, nothing pertaining, same videos above. Shanir's introduction to Demona and Gypsy title. The screen is dark and Nicholas is talking with a different voice, portraying to be whom he called Shanir. Nicholas is very hard to understand in this video because of the way he talked. He called Gypsy by name and then called out to Demona as well. He talked about how he could see everything behind the scenes and he knows everything that goes on. He told Gypsy She better obey him or he would hurt her, as if she messed up. He would make her life a living hell. He said she had no heart and he had no care in the world. He told her she would do whatever he told her to do when they are together in person. Shanir's next message to Damona and Gypsy. The screen is dark and Nicholas is talking with a different voice, portraying to be the one he called Shanir. He said he would not reveal his identity to her, even though she requested him to. He mostly talked about how he could make her sad and happy, and she needed to listen to him and obey him. He told Gypsy she was playing with fire and she thought Damona would help her get out of the situation if she was wrong. He addressed Damona as being his partner in crime, but he did not elaborate on this. He talked about being able to sense things from other people's souls and seeing through their souls. He said he knows her master Victor has something planned for them. He said they needed to obey him and they had no other choice but to obey him. He could hurt other people and do evil. For him, this would prove her love to him and show they are interested in him. He said he would prefer to grape her versus having normal intercourse with her. He said if she was willing to help him kill or unalive someone and let him grape her, he would not hurt her. Talking to my mistress and my true love with Master Victor. Title. Nicholas is talking at first, then he introduced Victor, who then spoke. He talked about how he did not want Gypsy to mention something on Facebook. He did not say what it was they were not supposed to talk about. Nicholas came back and said he did not know what Victor just told them, but thought he heard something about a video. Victor's farewell video to Gypsy. Nicholas is talking as Victor is in this video and addresses it to Gypsy. He talked about having a new slave and being a vampire who could do sensual paralysis on someone. He talked about a video Gypsy made for him and how she gave up her ownership to him. There was ownership papers found on Nicholas's computer. He talked about a journey. Wait, hold on, I gotta reread that, I'm sorry. He talked about a video Gypsy made for him and how she gave up her ownership to him. There was ownership papers found on Nicholas's computer. He talked about a journey or a trip he would have to take, and Gypsy would have to make sure she did her part to help Damona. He said he was looking for an opportunity to strike. He did not elaborate about the journey. He mostly talked about how he had plenty of slaves in the past, and she, Gypsy, was not fully trained yet. He said she would be overwhelmed by Nicholas when they meet in person. He talked about the different characters they had and when they all meet each other. He talked about how he was not afraid to manipulate anyone.
Quick question.
He talked about how she should have respectful fear of him. Yeah.
At no point did Allie I didn't see where she said that he had, like, this was the things that were going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
Had you seen that?
I read over that briefly. I haven't gotten to that part yet, though.
Okay.
But we can.
Okay.
He talked about how she should have a respectful fear for him. Words of wisdom from your master, Victor. Nicholas is talking as Victor in this video and addresses it to Gypsy. He said as soon as Gypsy is his property, all the back talking between her and Nicholas would need to stop. He blamed Gypsy for starting the arguments between them, and he wanted to give her some words of warning. He warned her it was not a good idea to do this because he could do whatever he wanted to her. He talked about Gypsy signing the paper. She would be his, and everything she owned is his. He would be her official master at that point. He told her she needed to do a response video, and if it were more than 10 minutes long, he would be mad. And if it was less than 5 minutes, she would be in trouble. If she were to make his life difficult, then he would make her life hell. He gave her 5 minutes to follow, to keep her master content. Think selflessly, worship, obey, honesty, and trust him. He said she should listen to him because he, Victor, was aware of them doing some bad things in the future to get back at a couple of people. He said he would not name who they were since he, Victor, was aware of who they were as much as Nicholas and Gypsy were. Hold on, I think I have a little... Oh, it's not pulling up my puzzle piece. Uh-oh. I might have to come down. Wait, nope. This puzzle piece is not appearing. It's saying that an error occurred and it's going to end my live in 3 minutes. I can't hear you. I'm gonna come back.
Drop down and just come back.